Igniter's uploaded something.
See, upcoming event, Josh, is it live or?
Yep, we're live.
Yes, okay, there we go. See,
upcoming event, Josh, is it live or? Yep, we're live. Okay, there we go.
Whose TV is that?
Sorry, that's me, guys. Sorry, guys. Here we go.
Yeah, we're up. Good evening, everybody. How's it, Mohammed? Welcome to round number 2. We got myself, Sozpoxiel, and Mr. Sean Peters on the chat tonight. Sean, give us the intro there.
Yeah, so good evening, everybody, and welcome to round number 2. It's a Thursday evening. Where else would you be this evening? And what a great evening it is. GTSSA, this is, as Steve just said now, it's round number 2, season 2, and we're in for some exciting racing. In fact, I've just taken about 10 laps around the course. I know Steven's just jumped out of his rig, taking gulps of water. And yeah, I think we're in for some crazy racing. Those tight turns, turn 1 and the final turn into that main straight. Steve, run us through it. I've just taken it. It's insane.
Awesome. Yeah, the 3 most important corners on the track, you mentioned 2 of them, turn 1 and the last turn. Turn 4, I found in my races, was a great place to make up time. The cars that we're watching on the screen at the moment, obviously a few seconds behind with the chat, but this corner that we're coming up to, we're going through now, there's quite a bit of time to be made in there as well. The last thing you want to do is run wide and lose all your speed down the hill or going a little bit too slow.
Yeah.
Then through the fast section, left, right, up the hill, hard on the brakes, and try not to understeer like me if you're in a front wheel drive. I think the rear wheel drive cars were making about 0.2, 0.3 on me every time I came out there, but luckily the car was quick enough from the rest of the track.
Well,
so,
yeah, interesting. You mentioned front wheel drive because pre going live, I did sort of shrug on the other side here in Cape Town, thinking, how the hell did he do it in a front wheel drive if we're up against these cars? And it's those tight turns. You know, jumping off the gas, I reckon it pulls itself straight and it sorts out the understeer. Stephen, just a quick hello to the man behind the scenes. Josh, you're all the way up in Johannesburg. How's it, Josh?
How's it, everyone?
Good to have you behind the scenes.
Yeah, he likes being behind the scenes. Man of few words.
Indeed.
I don't know where Josh has disappeared to, but yeah. We're in qualifying, it's 10 minutes, 2 minutes in so far. Everyone about to set their first lap. KBR Jacques sitting in the slipstream of DKP. JDJ setting the first lap, DK second. SMP3 Pro jumping up there into second place. So what we should see is about 9 laps, possibly 10 from the front couple cars. You're looking at already DKP in the 56.5 range in the Subaru. Yeah, it looks like a Subaru.
Yep.
Also a very good car around here. The 4-wheel drive gets you a good exit on the last turn. There was a Nations Cup race here a little while ago, and besides the front-wheel drives cars like the Peugeot RCZ, the Subaru was a very good choice around here. Guys that might be struggling tonight, the Toyotas, like we've got R. Davids in, a little bit down on top end, so you need to be pretty clever to get a good lap in there. But I saw in Pool 4 there's a couple guys making them work, so nothing's impossible. We are still just going off in the Mercedes-Benz, and yeah, with manufacturers, this is basically your flip of a coin. Some days you might have a bit of an advantage, and other days you might have to fight and put in for a top 5 rather than trying to win it.
Yeah. Mo, quite an interesting comment from Mo, expecting the Jags to dominate along with the Forksies. So, and then Jags are quite quick.
Yeah, the Jags and the Essens are fast. We've got MJ Ninja in the GTR, which is also a good car here, four-wheel drive. Been a bit of an advantage, and with the tyre wear settings, as they are only ×3 on the medium, tyre wear won't be a problem for them.
Yeah, for the 15-minute sprint.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, 15-lap sprint.
15 laps, so about 15 minutes, and we've got 2 of them.
And I've got to say, I do quite enjoy this little Beamer. And I see Stiganator say, how's it, Alan? Just saying, here we go to the RTA guys. They like to support their guys, I must admit.
Yeah, my teammates, I think all the teammates are in the chat. I saw Kalen with the We Are Pace. I'm sure we've got Ghost Killer Pace, 1 or 2 others.
Yeah.
We've got the DMR guys. R. Davids, he's from Mozambique. They're not an official club, but I think I'm actually getting it wrong. I think they do have a club name. They just don't really push it too much. But it's a bunch of mates up in Mozambique. They all run the Portuguese flag on Gran Turismo, and yeah, teammates always got to support.
Yeah. And sorry, I was just going to say, if you look on board there now, I think that was DKP that we were on board. We were just talking about that first and second, the first and last corner. And let me tell you, if you also take it very far to the inside, you catch that curb wrong, it also just unsettles the car completely. There we go, you can see the Merc running itself completely wide. See that section? I love these rollers, Steve, as you go through this little section here. And then you climb up on this little rise, straight onto the brakes, into this very tight left-hander. There we go. And just, making it look so easy there. Perfect line through there.
Definitely. I was just going to say, I think I said earlier DK was in a Subaru. It's Sir Ian in the Subaru, one of the RTA guys, and DK's in the BMW.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Folks, if there is anyone, sorry, Steve, if there's anyone just joined us and you're new to it, welcome to it. It is certainly dominating the world scene at the moment post-COVID is online e-racing. You can see his onboard shots are beautiful. Just talking about those curves, very high curves on this race circuit, and it does unsettle the car. Look at this onboard now. Steve, maybe you can answer that. Stiganator, yeah, where's Dean? I see a lot of guys asking. Yeah. Dean Kalen.
He withdrew. You'll have to get someone to ask him why. But here's KBR Jacques in the Jag, currently 6th place. He had a bit of a hard time in the GR3 race last week, but sitting high up this week, so using the power of the Jaguar. It's just dropped to 7th. 8th place R. David, Sir Ian currently in 9th. Serious Sam down in 10th in the BMW. I'm sure we'll see him moving up again. We are still 11th, Tug of War 12th. That looks like our field tonight. There was a full lobby, but I did see like iCarbon said he wasn't able to make it tonight. So there were a few issues as usual, but yeah, the majority of the guys are here. We've got our contenders up front. You can see a few of the gaps. So Ian just moving up to 5th, 0.001 ahead of DMR E TSM JDJ.
Oh, great to see the colours up front there now. DKP, so Ian. Interesting, those RTA livery looks absolutely amazing. And this is going to be some interesting racing. 15 laps, 2 heats. Folks, if you're new to it, welcome. You want to stick around for this. Leave your comments below if you've got some technical questions to ask. Stephen is probably one of the best guys to be asking. We've got a lot of guys that are on the chat that also are here every single week in and week out. In fact, they don't only race on a Thursday night. I think they race most evenings. So
yeah, there's always something going on.
Yep.
Yeah, last week we had the 80k series on Monday, GTSSA on Thursday, the Ladies League on Friday, and then an endurance race on Saturday as official events. Melos was the GTR cutting the grass, and he's doing his best Melos impersonation. You'll see that's turn 4 years talking about Sean. You'll see quite often during the race the guys do run slightly over the grass there. It's actually the better line. It's the one curb you can actually go over without it being a problem.
Yeah, I noticed that in practice.
Yeah, turn 2 and 3. When I was practicing yesterday, somehow I managed to spin a front wheel drive on it. That's how weird that curve is. Called the front wheel, and the front wheel drive's car spun. But yeah, the first corner and the last corner you don't want to get on the curbs. Turn 4 you can, as you see SMP3 Pro there, even coming out the last corner you can run a little wide.
Yeah, just catching some of the grass. Nice to see the Corvette out there, Stephen.
Yeah, definitely. Nice car mix. He has another Corvette, 2 DMR guys using those. Ghost Killer Pace in the Jag. Looks like we're about to start. Anyone's just finishing their laps now, but I don't think anyone else will get across in the last 6 seconds. So we should be starting race 1 based on these times. DP first, SMP3 Pro second, Ghost Killer Pace third. 4th place I'm not sure because we can't see, but then JDJ, Nitro Merlin, Sam, R. David, Sir Ian, and I think it was KBR Jacques in 10th, but I must just double check.
Alright guys and girls, here we go, ready for the start.
Yeah, sorry, and then Yasteel in 11th, Tug of War 12th, 4th was MJ Ninja in that GTR. So fingers crossed for no auto drive. Grid start, so any front wheel drive cars, if there are no problem. The big power cars obviously should have a bit of advantage. DK managing to hold the lead down to turn 1 so far. SMP3 Pro, Ghost Killer Pace up 1 position. MJ Ninja holding it on the outside. And yeah, the danger zone, turn 1, everyone's through cleanly. Filter a little bit side by side through 2 and 3. It is possible to make a move into 4, but it's very risky, so everyone filtering into single file for now. And what you want to do is you want to try and get out of slipstream range of your DKP, so that's a 0.75 gap.
Yeah.
Because that Jag of Ghost Killer Pace is up to 2nd, and it's going to be very dangerous coming down that straight. You're trying to hold on to the lead.
So interesting, as we were saying, a great mix of cars there, represented from all walks of various different continents. BMW up front, we've got Corvette in there, we've got the Jaguar in 2nd at the moment. A great mix. I see even a couple of Mazdas in there. Those are, if I'm not mistaken, are those the all-wheel drive, or is that front-wheel drive?
I think it's rear-wheel drive.
Okay.
The Mazda.
I want to just double-check that. I'm actually getting myself confused here.
Yeah, we got Sebi and Melos saying I'm making them sleepy, but it's because I'm still trying to catch my breath from my 2 wins in pool 4. I think my heart rate's still slowing down, so my voice is catching up. Nice battle with JDJ and Sir Ian and Sam, all 3 abreast coming into turn 1. Last turn, sorry. Yasteel, who started 11th, is up to 8th. KBR Jacques dropped from 10th to 12th. And we've got a little split between the pack. The first 4 or 5 cars getting ahead.
Yeah, there we go. So Stefan Vessels, thank you very much. I thought as much. It's a 4-wheel drive, or at least all-wheel drive. So also has a slight advantage, but if you look at it now, DKP dominating into lap 3 already. But look at this battle. Yeah.
Uncle Josh changed a few seconds before we said it, but we're running with a slight delay, so big battle at the front. Ghost Killer and Deke. MJ Ninja hanging in there within slipstream range. So Ghost Killer getting his nose up the inside, a little bit of slipstream. He's going to have to try and move around the outside though, because Deke is going to defend his inside line for everything that BMW is worth for another 11 laps.
And Mo said the Jags are quick, and there we go. His prediction is right. Look at this. Coming up on the outside, is he going to make it stick? There's an in-car view. How beautiful is that? BMW right in front there. It is close, neck-on-neck action here. Thursday evening for Season 2, round number 2. And look at that. Man, oh man. I mean, Stephen's just, as he said, he's just come off 2 heats of this. He's still trying to catch his breath. And look at this. This is phenomenal stuff.
It's quite nerve-wracking compared to our usual races doing 2 heats. Normally by 10-15 minutes in, you've settled into a gap of 5 seconds ahead and 5 seconds behind. These were 2 15-minute races where you're constantly under pressure, as you can see with the front 3 here.
And also, I mean, just looking at the four-wheel drive of the GTR that we see here, look how he's picking up pace now. He knows that he doesn't have to conserve tyres that much, so he can give it, you know, all he's got. And he's getting close. He's now really on top of Ghost Killer pace in the Jag. So we said it's going to be interesting.
That turn 4, you can see Deke opens a couple car lengths this time around. I'm not sure if that's the Jag and having a bad exit because the GTR is all over him, but you definitely want to make sure that all 3 abreast.
Yeah, guys, I think this is the best we've seen in a very long time.
Yeah. So just for anyone joining, it's 2 heats tonight of 15 laps instead of our usual 35 minute long race. Just while we're looking at the cars, you'll see that most of them are running liveries with our sponsors' logos on at some point or other. That's TGN Racing Simulators, Track Art, and ATM Chip Tuning. As we see 2 cars go off onto the gravel, which is quite a fatal error there, costing 4 or 5 seconds, and in this close racing race, dropping you right to the back of the pack.
Yeah.
Which, where the upside of 2 heats comes in, at least after this race, I think that was just Steele. He'll have a second chance without having a big gap to try and make up.
Stephen, just getting back to the sponsors while we are watching the various cars out on the track. Again, a big thanks, as Stephen just said now. But Track Art, also, just please go have a look at what they do. Go check them out on Facebook. They've got a great Instagram page. In fact, TGN as well. They're up to date all the time. They're actually very active on Twitter as well. So there's no excuse not to go and see what they're doing. So once again, thanks TGN Simulators, and of course the sister company Track Art doing an amazing job. Of course, ATM as well. Go get your cars tuned, guys. I know you want to.
While we were watching the MJ Ninja tuned hazard pass Ghost Killer pace, lovely move, managed to hold it, and that put SMP3 Pro right on the back. So a few seconds breathing room for Deke, but they're all still in slipstream range, so now he has a GTR to defend against rather than the Jag.
Yeah.
The Jag's going to get a double toe, so.
And then of course we've got the Corvette coming through as well, Steve. So it really now is a battle of 4 different manufacturers, 4 great drivers, neck on neck through here.
Yeah, and then we've got the second group, and they're 4.7 seconds behind. SMP3 Pro. Serious Sam's managed to get past Sir Ian. DMRE TSM JDJ, the man with all the letters. He's 7th place. R. David's 8th. They're a little bit ahead of Nitro Merlin and KBR Jacques in 10th. So we've basically got 2 groups of 4 and then best of the rest behind.
Yeah.
And there's a Corvette looking around the outside of the Jag.
I think we missed it, but no, he was making it stick.
depends who gets a slipstream from the GTR should end up getting the place, and it looks like the Corvette at the moment.
Yeah. And he might just have that extra horsepower to...
But look how strong that Jag is. Even without the slipstream staying side by side.
Yeah.
He's not going to give that place up.
And he's definitely got the line here, and he makes it work.
And you can just see that little bit of battling gives half a second to the car ahead.
Yeah,
so
Josh, stay here, man. This is really exciting.
It's the joys of having such close racing in 2 4-car battles.
Yeah.
But right now the front two have a little bit of a gap, and it's all about third and fourth. How we're confirming the results tonight is obviously the 2 heats, the points get added up, and the overall winner would obviously then get first for the night, as in the usual scoring. Second would get second, so say someone's got a second place and a fourth, and that was the next best hiring, you'd still get the normal second place points. But yeah, that will be worked out by our accountants. Corvette's got the inside here, but just has to break a bit early from the inside. Apologies to the viewers that we're about 3-4 seconds behind the pictures that we see. The joys of various streaming methods. I'm still trying to catch my breath. On board with R. Davids. Now it's putting a little bit of pressure on Sir Ian. Serious Sands pulled a bit of a gap in 5th. Possibly also just maybe due to Subaru using a little bit more tyres than the BMW.
Yeah.
You can see these two are doing mid 57s, and up the inside, bit of a dive bomb there, manages to hold it, no problems. That little Toyota is exposed now to the slipstream against the Merc. I'm surprised he hasn't moved over, as I said he does. And he's going to try to defend from the Mercedes. There's a good performance from R. Davids in that little Toyota 86. It is a bit down on power, but he's using the pace through the fast sections, fast sweeping corners. Apparently he's got a GP2 engine, according to Fernando Alonso, but it did qualify 4th, so... Sorry, was it 4th or 6th? I can't remember. But now his problem is he's going to catch the Merc through the corners, and then he'll have to try find a way past on the straight, because when he moves out the slipstream he's going to have a little bit of a pace deficit.
Yeah, so thanks guys. Our guys that are tuning in, Stiganator saying 86 is running that map 6. These are things I still need to get used to, gentlemen.
Back at the front, the Corvette's got the inside this time on the Jag. It looks like DTP's cleared off about 3 seconds ahead of second place. And almost 4 ahead of 4th, but 3rd and 4th are still battling hard. I'm sure Ghost Killer Pace is going to hold the Pace team name up and look at coming back here while the GTR head runs a bit wide. So now we're back to a 3-way battle for second.
But let's just stay on these guys. I want to see what happens here. Stefan Vessel's saying someone's going to club that pitfall. I'm also waiting to see that, because if you catch too much of that grass, yeah, there we go.
Using the extra bit of sorry, I'm just reading the comments. No, Ron definitely doesn't have a GP2 engine, and we're just referring to Fernando Alonso a couple of years ago. If you run a bit wide out of that last turn and keep the foot down, you go into pit lane, and the guys are flirting with hitting the entrance every now and again.
Yeah, there we go. I've also just said that before this comment just came up, that Corvette is quick, and seems to have great handling as well in such a very tight circuit like we're on at the moment.
Yeah, taking a look, he's got a little bit of tyre wear on the right rear, but overall they look fairly new on lap 13. A little bit of a nudge there on the GTR, and he backs out of it to not make a position, which lets Ghost Killer come back in and possibly get a run on him. I can tell you after 15 laps in the front wheel drive, I had more tyre wear than a lot more tyre wear than that. It was only a small amount, obviously, with mediums and low wear, but you could feel the understeer increase. Ghost Killer trying to hold it on the outside here, and does a great job to manage to get the place, but let's see if you can stay ahead into turn 4. It's going to be a drag race, and if the Corvette has the inside.
Yeah, if you can hold on to it.
A little bit of contact, but that was fine. Corvette manages to get the place back. Brave Bar, Ghost Killer pace to keep fighting through that corner on the outside, because you risk going into the wall, and there's a funny little edge there, which spins you around. Yeah, going on to the last lap, PP 4.2 seconds ahead. MJ Ninja now has a 1 second gap with the 2 behind battling. Sir Sam's flying, he's only 1.7 behind Ghost Killer pace now with the battling they've been doing. He's probably running second fastest, so we go around the outside again for Ghost Killer pace, but that loses him exit speed, so the Corvette gets him back. Sam's now within 1.2 seconds.
I'll tell you what, this is definitely going to go down as the race of the evening, I think. These guys are doing a fantastic job here and putting on some entertainment value.
That's Sam currently on her best first sector. So Ian defending from JDJ still. See what happens up front into that last corner. How direct they can move there. So we had Ninja second, SMP3 Pro holding on for third, Ghost Killer pace ending up in fourth, Sam fifth, Ian sixth, JDJ seventh. Our man's scrolling down nice and fast, so I can't keep up. R. Davids, Shock, ninth, Nitro Merlin, Yastiel, and there we go. You can read the full results.
Yeah, sorry, I'm
just laughing at Alan.
Yeah, sorry. I had to try and hold back the laugh there, but 100% certainly a slightly lighter car because it's got no indicator bulbs. I think they even take out the indicator stalk, Alan.
So it's not even a lens here, it's just a bit of red paint. Come on.
But in all fairness, it is a great car. Let's face it. I do quite enjoy the BMWs.
Definitely. Yeah, BMW is one of my favorite to drive in GR4, especially on the B version of this track. I've never driven it on the C, but on the B I've had good battles through the fast twisty sections. Their results, DKP taking it by about 4.5 seconds at the end. MJ Ninja, great drive from him in the GTR. Who was your driver of race 1? I think entertainment battle, maybe it was us third and fourth place guys.
Yeah, most certainly, definitely the guys pulled it out of the bag. And of course, I'd love to see the Corvette making it stick like it did. It's a bit of a handful to drive that thing, and yeah, well done.
So they get a 5 minutes break, which we're ready into, just have a quick stretch and maybe a sip of water, calm the nerves. So yeah, BMW from Nissan, from Corvette, Jag, BMW, Subaru.
Yeah.
It's all shaken up. I'd have expected to see Sir Ian maybe slightly higher. I didn't think the BMWs would do as well as they have. Thought we'd be seeing F-types at the front only.
Yeah.
Just looking, there's no front-wheel drive cars in this race, so lucky for these guys they don't have chaos on the grid.
Yeah. I see the Tenza right down in 12th there, Tug of War GP. Going back to the Corvette SMP3 Pro, well done to you. I think to put that car up against that Jag was a great effort, and you made it stick, so podium position for you. And just going through some of the comments, sorry, I just want to go back to one of the guys said, sorry, Steve, just going back to it.
Go for it.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I just wanted to mention Ron just saying super happy for Ghost. Well, Ron, thanks for joining us and thanks for giving a shout out to you guys. If you've got mates and you want to ask them to join, please join us. If you've got any questions for Stephen, and we've got Josh in the background. These guys know these simulations back to front. I'm new to it, so please just bear with me while we run through all the technicalities of e-sim racing, or commentating at least. But great to have you guys all here.
I think we need to get you into a car for round 3. You can just jump into pool 11, have a draw, and do a race next week before commentary.
I think that's a brilliant idea.
Please do. Let me know what I need to do, and I'll join you guys.
Done. You just joined.
Lekker, guys.
But next week is actually a surprise race, unknown track and car class, which will be revealed probably on the day with about 2-3 hours beforehand.
Knowing Stephen, it's going to be that horrible mountain track.
I wish. I will give some away that I've chosen tracks and combos this season that don't suit me. I picked a manufacturer.
The track of all times is Mount Panorama. Looks like we started race 2.
Yeah, so race 2 is from race 1 starting grid. We did have a few guys that asked about reverse grid and why we didn't do it, but with our sponsors' prizes up for grab and things like that, it's a little bit unfair on someone if they get taken out trying to come through the field when they won the previous race. But it is good fun in messing around lobbies.
Yeah.
And also asking why isn't Torched in the lobby. There's another guy that was due. He is playing some big Call of Duty competition and the leaders are off. MJ Ninja's got the lead this time, so Deaky's definitely going to have to work for it. SMP3 Pro second currently, Ghost Killer Pace third, JDJ fifth. Everyone sorting themselves out through turn 1. Let's just see if they will make it through cleanly. Looks like R. David's lost out a bit that time with the Toyota. Possibly jumped at the start and got a penalty because he dropped quite a few places. See a couple of car links between the front two. DK trying to get it away as quickly as possible and putting MJ Ninja under pressure. And if you use bumper cam like me, when you're that close, you can't see anything going through those two corners. So you actually just have to guess where the apex is and hope you don't bump the wall.
Yeah, that final exit as you head up onto the straight, you'll see, as Stephen mentioned in Heat 1, towards the latter part of the race, you start seeing them catching most part of that exit to make up time, but you can catch yourself out as they come up to turn 1. This is fast as they approach here, down all the way into second gear. You see how they clip the inside of that curb back onto the curb here as a quick right into a left-hander, and on board now with Vicky P in the BMW, and that GTR can make itself very wide.
Definitely, you can see these two really open up a second gaps, which means the guys behind aren't getting any slipstream. Diki looks like he's in a rush to get past, but it might actually even just be a good idea to work as a team to get a big gap at the moment. Obviously, with Diki coming first and MJ Ninja second, if they had a reverse finishing order, he did say that the overall finishing time would count. So if the race stopped this second, Diki would probably win by about 5 seconds over on overall time. But he's looking at the inside, and MJ Ninja is giving him a bit of space. Nice clean move with the slipstream.
Yeah.
He has that Corvette while they battle. Caught right back up.
SMP3 Pro just sneaking up as we were chatting about the front two cars. He just made himself up some nice time there. As we look at the back end of the field,
2 groups again, the front 6 or 7, and then the rest of the pack. It looks like Sam just managed to get separated, so Miana came 5th last time round and has a bit of work to do because he's going to have to make some passes and then close that gap down.
Yeah.
KBR Jacques doing well in 7th place at the moment, hanging on to the leaders. Sorry, he's still there.
I just
Shark. Sam's up to 8th now, managed to get ahead and already got a 6/10th gap, and he's 1.7 seconds behind Shark, so he's going to have to push a little bit to get back into that train at the front. Obviously with the short track and only 3 main braking zones, 1/10 is about the same as making up 3/4 on a normal track.
So, if you've just joined us, welcome to it. Incredible racing here. This is race or heat number 2 for race number 2 here at Sardinia, and my money is on that Corvette. I'm going to say it. There, I said it.
Yeah, he's got past MJ Ninja up into 2nd.
There's only 2 seconds separating behind that first to 6th.
Yeah, so the train's working well right now. You can see Sharp just starting to drop off a little bit. As soon as you're out the slipstream where he's 8/10 behind, it's not going to pull him along, and I think Sam's going to be with him quite soon. But it has got him higher up the field away from the guys behind. So if I was him, if Sam catches him, he shouldn't battle too hard. He should rather work together and try to get towed back towards the front group.
Yeah.
You never know what could happen. You can see Sir Ian this time up in 5th in the Subaru, right behind Ghost Killer Pace, JDJ behind him. They're 1.9 seconds behind the leader in 5th place.
Sorry, guys. I got to laugh at the comments. It's great. Thanks, guys. It's after a long, crazy day to watch great racing and to see some of these comments. This is just asking pineapple on pizza, yes or no? I would say yes. Stephen, your thoughts?
Hell no.
Yeah. I'm more of a chili man myself, but if you prefer pineapple on it, go for it, Malose. No one's going to stop you, but that's probably why you're single.
And we're not don't worry, we won't tell anybody, mate.
Still DKP leading in the BM. SMP3 Pro right behind him, 4/10. They've now opened up a second on MJ Ninja, who's having a little bit of a fight with Ghost Killer Pace. Sir Ian battling with TSM JDJ, so we've got 3 groups of 2 at the front this time. JDJ should have the line for this corner. A little bit on the inside and a bit of bumping. Something happened to MJ Ninja in front. He also just got caught on that horrible sand trap, and he's now dropped behind the other 2, down to 6th place. And all that fighting brought Shark, who is 2 seconds behind him, right back onto the tailgate. He should have Sam right with him.
So I had some time, Stephen, in the talking about Sir Ian. It is a tricky car because it's quite a heavy 4-wheel drive Subaru. You can see
cut
up
back
front
by
there.
Sir Ian up front there, side by side with the Merc. Merc's just got a little bit more pace. Possibly going to go claim the inside line yet. Let's see who's got it on the brakes. A little bit of a block pass. No contact this time.
Sure. Yeah, these guys are having a proper battle here.
Yeah, out front we've still got the front 2 very close together. Ghost Killer Pace is in no man's land behind them and in front of this battle. Sam's past MJ Ninja and Jock, and you can see his bump bonnet peeking in behind the Subaru every now and again.
Oh, there we go. Back to the action. Up front, DKP, SMP3 Pro in the Corvette. And as much as I love BMW, old school American muscle, Always fun to watch it up front at the moment. And let's see what he does. Coming out, passing onto the right, he just sneaks up, looks. He's not going to make it work though. TP got the inside line and holding on to it.
How close his right-hand side wheels came to that gravel there. You just touch it and it actually pulls you in. So DK defending brilliantly there, right to the edge of the gravel, but without touching it. Exactly what he needs to do.
And as I said early on in race heat 1, I love this section 3 here. It's fast. You pick up lots of speed coming down here. As you come up past the rise, you've got to get heavy onto the brakes. You see there the brakes, that's the braking line there. And not using all of the circuit just yet. I think we only lap 9 now. Back to the action.
Yeah, Sam battling now with JDJ. There's a little bit of bumping and GTR is now looking for a way past both of them. Looks like Sam's going to have to defend from MJ Ninja here. Using the slipstream to his advantage, but Sam does have the inside line. It's quite an interesting corner because obviously if you inside, you have the right-hander and the left-hander, but if you can stay side by side and hold it to turn 4, you can claim the position.
Yeah.
We've got a nice battle here. 5 cars all the way to 3rd to 8th. 3 seconds further back to Nitro Merlin in 9th and R. Davids in 10th.
Yeah, it was only 5 laps to go, so if you've just joined our live stream, welcome. We've got 5 laps to go. There's been some serious racing this evening. Once again, thanks to our amazing sponsors, TGN, the guys from Track Art. Sorry, I'm just watching the comments coming up. See if there's anybody new that's joined the feed.
Yeah.
Not at the moment.
Ghost Killer Paces, now that he's been left alone from behind, pushing to try catch up the 2 in front. So it's going to become a 3-way battle, and then this 5-way battle behind, still flat out chaos, is the way we like it.
Yeah. Most certainly some of the best action I've seen in my time in the commentating box here in Cape Town. So thank you very much for having me, guys.
No problem. We've got another 3-way battle between 9th, 10th and 11th. The little Toyota's hanging in there, looking for a way, but it's through, but it's behind the Corvette, so he's going to be open and susceptible to attack from the Mercedes behind. So yeah, you're going to want to sit in the slipstream and hopefully use it as your part of your defense. I'm not sure what I'd do if I was in the Corvette, maybe move over a little and make them fight so I can get a gap.
Yeah.
You can see he's now moved to the normal line to give you a steal the slipstream. The steal goes a bit wide, Toyota takes the place back, R. Davids.
Josh, if we can just move to the front. I see the guys are just having Kalen just saying you keep putting on defensive masterclass. Let's have a quick look there.
Yeah. Well, he's doing exactly what he needs to do. Come out the last corner with 5 tenths, 6 tenths of a second, although he got a bit of a drift there, and that's led the Corvette within 3. But the slipstream only really kicks in once you come under this bridge here.
Yeah.
So if you claim the inside, it's quite hard to get past before the corner, which you can see DK actually just brakes, make sure he hits the apex, and that lets him resume the lead every time. The danger is being on the inside. I'm sure Ghost Climax can attest to this. We had a great battle in the first heat, but in the second heat, I was putting pressure on him, went on the outside, and he missed his braking point and ended up in the sandbox on the outside. So DK's risking on the inside line there that if he makes a slight mistake, he might get put into that gravel, and that could cost him 6-7 places on this route.
And that BMW, you can see it has got slightly advantage on braking there. You can see you can get onto the brakes just slightly later. Here we go, just seeing that Corvette. It really only starts picking up its pace as it gets to this bridge at the top of this hill. You see that's where it comes in there. But then he's got to get onto the brakes because it's quite it's a lot heavier, the car. than the Beamer.
So we got Diki leading, SMP 3 Pro second, Ghost Killer Pace in third, JDJ fourth. MJ Ninja's dropped down to 8th, so he must have had a little bit of an issue in that battle, 5-way battle further back. But we've got just over a lap to go, and with MJ Ninja coming second, Diki could actually finish second on this race to take the first overall. So depending on how much he's thinking about it, I know he probably wants both wins, but he's got that little bit of defense in his army as well. He's man to beat all the guys that came third and second. So SMP 3 Pro I think came third, but as long as Diki stays in second, he won't beat him for the day.
Yeah.
And so Ian up front making a move on Sam. Getting sucked into the gravel and then hit by MJ Ninja. Let's just see that battle for the lead up front there, Josh.
Just looking at the feed, Derek Duplessis, before we go back to Stephen. Derek, how's it, my man? All the way from, I think it's Nigel, if I can remember correctly. Good to have you on our feed.
Diki hugging the last corner to make sure there's no gap. That's going to compromise his exit, but he should have enough to beat the Corvette to the line. And that gave Ghost Killer Pace a run right onto the back of them. TSM JDJ, solid 4th place, leading, celebrating there. Sergian, great 5th. KBR Jacques in 6th place. Great drive from him. Nitro Merlin ending up 8th, Sam in 9th, Yasteel 10th, R Davids 11th, and Tug of War 12th. 7th place was MJ Ninja, it was the one I missed. So everyone catch your breath. That's a double for Diki.
Yeah, and over so quick. It was exceptional racing, exceptional driving from the guys, and man, oh man, you guys have done an excellent job. Well done, DKP, SMP3 Pro. Definitely my drive of the day. Not because I worked for Chevrolet for many years when they were still in the country, but he had a great drive in that car tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Just going through the list. Also a great drive from the second heat from KBR Jacques. I'm sure he's going to be very happy with the 6th place. Sirius Sam ended up 9th off that bit of a bump, but he had a great first race coming through the pack. While we still got guys with us, thanks again to TGN Racing Simulators, Track Art, ATM Chip Tuning. Go like their social media, support the guys who support us.
Yep.
Go like the GTSSA page if you haven't already as well. Like our YouTube, hit the like button. Lots of liking going on. But if you like what you see, you go like it. Okay, I'm done. I'll stop now.
Well, if you like what Stephen has to say, well, go and like everything, guys. It's thanks very much for having me as your guest, guys. Nice to see Denise Hubert. Just congratulating everybody, and thanks for joining us. It's been great to see all of you, and once again, superb racing this evening.
Yeah, I had some guys worrying about the combo, saying that there might not be enough battling because it's such a hard track. Wow, these guys, and I'm sure a lot of the other pools, I think, had some good battles today.
Yeah.
Josh, you there?
I'm here.
How do you enjoy that?
He's reaching for his asthma pump.
That was exceptional racing. I mean, I like to sometimes do one lap with the leader or something like that, but there was no time for that in these races because in both the races the action was all over the place, so it was very difficult.
Yeah, I think you had the hardest job, Josh. So well done to you, my man, the man behind all the buttons, making sure that we can show you what you want to see, where all the action was. So Josh, a big shout out to you. Well done, my man.
I see Andres asking in the chat what is next week's race.
It's a
track,
surprise race. Late
like
reveal,
I
Andre.
said, like I said before, this is Steven's choice, so it's most likely going to be Mount Panorama in the dark.
No, it's special stage Route X in the Fiat 500. 300 laps. But in all seriousness, I hope everyone enjoyed their racing tonight. Thanks to the sponsors again. Thanks to Mr. Sean Peters, the voice of Cape Town. Cycling, mountain biking, correct?
Yeah, if you want to call it that.
We're going to give you the title.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, it's, look, it's just a
racing commentating now than mountain biking.
yeah, most certainly. I'm away for 4 or 5 days now at live work, but let me tell you, just to see the interaction with all the guys in our chat, it's exciting, and I'm absolutely loving getting back into Gran Turismo after a 2-year hiatus. So great to be in the studio and great to be chatting to you guys. Thanks very much for having me.
You're gonna share your link for your stream next week when you are racing in race 3, right?
Definitely.
Sure. No pressure, guys.
Just something to get your blood pressure up before the next race.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Thanks to everyone who joined. Thanks to Josh for hosting the stream and playing the director behind the scene there. That's, I think, all from me.
Thanks to all the drivers and thanks to all the guys that were in the chat group. We appreciate it. And
cheers. Bye, everybody.